Mi gente, you already know who it is. It's Danny Limelight. And I need all of you to subscribe to According to Woods podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and all other platforms.
What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of welcoming back to the According to Woods podcast. He is a Combate Global Flyweight. He is my brother in all things, including Dogecoin. He is the one and only Malicious Michael Reyes. Malicious One, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. How you been, Adam?
Dude, I mean, waiting to go to the moon. You coming with me?
Yeah, I hope Dogecoin goes there. I'll be going over there.
Yo, man, let's.
Your seat could be right next to me.
Yeah, you know, it's funny too because like I think almost like weed and CBD, right? Of a different era, you wouldn't even talk about like weed and hemp and CBD and everything like that. You would get tested positive. Now everybody talks about it. Everybody and your grandma probably has an ointment or whatever. But the same thing with like stocks and crypto, right? Exactly, right?
Yeah.
But now like stocks and cryptos, that's like I don't know anybody that was talking about that like openly before the pandemic, and now like everyone, like every post almost seems like, you know, any one of your friends be like, yo, did you see what's happening? Or show a YouTube clip of like somebody talking about it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, now I think like with this whole pandemic thing, everybody just like got put on like a zone where you just have to survive. And now people are just stuck at home trying to figure out like how are they gonna get by, and they're figuring out how can you make money. And now like this cryptocurrency stuff is popular. I mean, you're doing nothing at home all day. Why don't you just watch? That's what people do, like tutorials on how to invest, what to invest in, when to pull your money out and stuff. So now it's just becoming like a trend. Now everyday people are starting to get like level the playing field as far as knowing what to invest in and how to diversify their money and, you know, spend it wisely and invest in companies.
No, 1,000%. And I love that you said, you know, kind of evening the playing field because, yeah, in many ways, for generations, the deck has been stacked, right? And this is the first time in history that you could literally, like, turn it on its ass and be like, yo, what now, fool?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, like people have told me that they've had invested thousands of dollars into Dogecoin at what I paid like nothing for. It's crazy. Like, you know, people are really putting their money into something that they feel is gonna return their money, you know, double fold, triple fold, and yeah, it's becoming a trend. Everybody's getting into it, so it's pretty cool to watch it.
Yeah, no, 100%. Shout out to our good brother, Gabriel Michael Guerrero, Malicious, Machalofas King, 100%. Shout out to Gone Through Your Lifestyle and Gabriel Michael
Yeah, what's
Guerrero.
up, Gabriel?
Yeah, man. And Orale, says Don McGuire, twice. So there you go.
Yeah, what's up, buddy? How you doing, Don?
Absolutely. So, you know, it's funny, right? Because I was kind of thinking about it because a lot of people were like, oh, I don't know about this crypto and whatever, right? But the fact of the matter is, right, you know, us as people, right, we used to barter stuff, right? We used to trade things like, hey, if you knew how to farm and I knew how to make swords, I trade, you know, my sword for your, I don't know, like crop of whatever, right? And we would barter, right? And then at some point, right? And then at some point, gold became a thing, right? And then we started trading gold as a society and what have you, right? But then you couldn't be walking around that fool with like 80 pounds of gold on you, right? So we were like, instead of carrying around sacks of golds in our pocket, well, guess what? We're going to have these paper, and this paper says, I owe you X amount of gold. And then it got to a point where we were just like, oh, like we'll just, instead of the gold, I mean, like just do paper. And then like in the 70s and 80s it turned to credit. So it's crazy that like what we value always goes through changes, and I think cryptocurrency is like the next iteration of like what it's always been, what we
Yeah.
value.
Yeah, for reals, it is. And that before, I mean, it started off of trades, like you said. It started off of being able to make things or produce things and be or have like a service that you provide in exchange. Now like money's changed. You know, the way you earn money, the way you make money is totally different now. And yeah, with the forms of money went from like gold to paper, and now it's to plastic, and now it's all on your phone. It's all on your apps, and in the cloud. And I just think it's trippy how like we value that money, and people are rich or poor depending on how much money's on their phone, or how much value or what's inside that little piece of plastic. It's a piece of plastic, but it has one could have $2 and the other one could have $2 million. That to me is astonishing how we put so much value on currency.
Yeah, it's not even like cryptocurrency, right? Like as a fighter, right? There's been talk, almost since the beginning of MMA, or MMA is proliferation of a talk of a union. Well, like since the last time that we talked, like the parent company of the UFC and WME Endeavor is actually a publicly traded stock. Like you can tell the UFC what's what if you buy enough shares. Like it's a wild time.
Yeah, yeah, but I have to have millions of dollars to be able to say anything. I'm
I
sure
don't
Dana
know.
White will have more than I would.
You say that or whatever, but I'll say a tweet and be like, block me. I'm gonna say something at the shareholder meeting next time, fool. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Money does talk, man, but Dana White has a good lead over me, so influence would probably be my best route. Not so much measuring wallet sizes.
Yeah, no, you don't want to keep up with the Joneses anyway, man. It's not fun. Everybody's on their own
No,
path.
I
You
stay
know,
in my own lane.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
good to be that way. Whatever car you drive, whatever zip code, whatever, if you're good with it, then it's cool. Whatever way that you ply your trade to get such money, which like you're a fighter. A lot of people are like thumb their nose about fighting and everything like that, but it is your art. 100%. It's your art that you've begun to cultivate throughout the years and, show on just like Van Gogh and all of the famous painters of yesteryear. Well, you paint your craft in blood on a canvas.
yeah, 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 and that's the way I've seen it. Like I literally fight on a canvas, and I paint that shit in blood. Blood, sweat, and tears. And I was talking to somebody actually, or I was talking to one of the fighters on track day yesterday. I was telling him how it's a trip that would train like 250, 300 to 300 days out of the year. Hardly taking any days off, and we do this like without questioning it. Because it's just who we are. We want to train, we want to get better, we want to grow, and ultimately it's to perform in a cage. But when we actually get there, we're like, oh, I hate being here. I don't want to be here. Like the pressure's too much. Why did I choose this? And if we only like we're in that state of mind where we thought about all those days that we went to training that was hard, that we didn't want to be there, and how we overcame it, and how like this it should be a time. A fight should be like a moment where you rejoice in your hard work, and you finally get to reap the benefits of it, instead of just like thinking of all the pressure and all the negative possibilities. That's why I told him how trippy it was, and that if we only more optimistic about it, maybe our performances would be better. Because I told him I'm shit scared shitless every time I'm about to step out.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that means you actually feel. I think Kelly Clarkson couldn't have put it any better. She said, "Some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this." You didn't think I was gonna go there. I fucking went and quoted Kelly Clarkson with some deep
No,
shit.
isn't that the sandals commercial? Oh, no,
Yeah,
for a moment, like, oh my god. Yeah,
yeah, that's what you get, bro. That's what you get.
yeah, no, but it's
You're gonna help me out with this one. My Espanol isn't the greatest, but I got en la hala,
yeah. It says
hermano.
keep growing. Yeah, he says keep growing in the cage, my brother.
There you
Thank
go.
you, gracias, hermano.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I'm happy, man. I'm growing in the cage. I'm growing up here. Better. Aquí estoy creciendo más. Right here in the brain, man. That's been like the the best thing I can really think of for that's happened in these last 2 years. These last 2 years have been pretty rough for me, like my personal life and stuff. But as far as like where I am in my career, despite all the things that have been happening, I've kept solid mentally, and I've actually grown mentally. And I feel like in this position that I am right now, I don't think anybody out there in Combate could, or anywhere else, can really beat me. Can touch me. So I feel really confident right now.
No, I love it, man. It exudes out of you, which, obviously 2020 was a crazy kind of ordeal, but you kind of took that time to kind of, get some of the things worked on, in terms of, nagging injuries and what have you. And it was supposed to be a bright 2021 and having a fight actually on my birthday scheduled in Miami for the newly rebranded, formerly Combate
Yeah.
Americas and now Combate Global. And man, it's been a crazy ride. Just that.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride like that. The injury, the physical aspects were crazy. You know, I've been competing in combat sports when I started wrestling at 14, and I did it year round. I wasn't no half-ass wrestler. Like I've seen I forgot who it was, but they were talking about fighters and wrestlers and how some great wrestlers will make okay fighters and some okay wrestlers will make great fighters. So, and I feel like I'm that okay wrestler that's gonna end up being a great fighter that is already on his way and that's already great. But finding greatness in mixed martial arts, even though I didn't get all the accolades that I wanted in wrestling, but I did everything I could with 4 years of wrestling. I wanted to continue it, and then I found MMA. So it's been a long time. I'm 29 years old. I started at 14. It's been 15 years of my life. I've been a competitor, and to go and for 2 of those years to be taken away from me because of overtraining or not training smart or making bad decisions. Like the reason I got hurt was because I didn't want to tap at the gym, and then it ended up costing me 2 years of my career. And that's kind of mentality. Yeah, like I commend people that are tough like that. Like we saw this weekend, but it screws you over because then you're out for years and years. So I don't want to take any more time out of my career. Where I'm at right now, I feel really good physically and mentally. So competing in this year is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to getting back into the howler.
No, man, we can't wait to see you back. And Gabriel Michael Guerrero says it shows King. 100%.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, fire, strength, and Rodney says you're a dope bouncer. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm still a bouncer.
Hey, that. Oh, I mean, okay, here we go.
No, I'm just a bouncer at family parties now.
Hey, you know what? When your Theo has too many, drinks or whatever, and he's on "I love you" to
Yeah,
everyone and whatever, and he gets a little bit too testy, you
yeah,
gotta
sit
regulate.
down.
Theo Martin, fucking a.
Yeah, see, you've been to those parties.
Yo,
Yeah.
In Fiji, we got him too. It's always Uncle Chimmy, not Jimmy, Chimmy, right? Hey,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Hey, at first he was like, "Can you get me $5 to get a beer at the store?" He gets a fucking beer, doesn't give you the change or whatever, gets way too drunk, eats all of the fucking curry. Fucking Uncle Chimmy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We got those deals too, man. They bring a bunch of beer though. They do bring their 30 packs. That's how they get so
Yeah,
drunk.
yeah,
Come
and
prepared.
save all but three. It gave you all but three. Take all the money, take all the beers,
Yeah. They
drinks in
keep
a
the rest is for the house.
supposedly,
Yeah, the rest is for the
supposedly,
house, yeah. I want to.
fucking Uncle
Yeah.
Jimmy. I'm still hot about it,
Yeah.
yo. I'm
Uncle.
just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Rodney's cool, man. Shout out to Rodney. I used to work with him back when when the comedy club and the bar were open and I was working out there. Before COVID, man, it was like the last right before March. This was my last week of working there. Pretty
Wow.
crazy, crazy. Dealing with drunk people.
Do you have any?
Yeah.
Do you have any drunk stories?
Uh-huh. Of me personally or other
No,
people?
no, them. Because you know, back in the day, like the Road
Yeah.
Warriors, the tag team, they used to have this. Like it was a bar in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, called Grandma B's, and they used to have a tripwire, right? And these big motherfuckers would
Mhm.
see who could throw somebody and hit the tripwire and make them tumble, and whoever made their patron tumble the
Oh
most,
wow.
they got $10.
Wow, that's pretty cool. No, we didn't have any games like that, but I'll bring that up next time
Yeah,
when the bars open up. Yeah, so my first day working there was on New Year's Eve. So that's already gonna, the worst day of the year to be a bouncer. Yeah. So this is my first day working there, my first night working there. Sorry. And then there was this huge guy, must have been like 6'2", 6'3", yoked out, like guy that takes a little too many supplements,
oh yeah.
and yeah, he's really douchey looking guy, but he was really aggressive towards his girlfriend and her friend, and he looked like he was gonna strike her. Like he lifted up an arm and cocked it back, like he was gonna punch her in the face. So I'm like, oh god, okay. And I had just torn my PCL, my MCL, my meniscus. Like, it was on December 10th. So this is December. This is 3 weeks later, exactly 3 weeks later, on the 31st that I'm bouncing. So I'm like, and I didn't know at the time what happened, but I knew it was something serious. So I'm like, how am I gonna take this big guy down? I'm gonna chop him at the ankle. I'm gonna chop him at the ankle, and there was like a bench right there. I'm like, hopefully he falls and knocks his head, and then it is what it is. And, and yeah, so he just and I tell him, hey man, like you can't be talking to her like this. You're gonna have to get to step in her, or we're gonna have to ask you to leave. Says, oh, F you this, F you that. I'm not going nowhere. I'm like, bro, you can either leave on your own or, we're going to have to help you. And he walked away, came back and got all up in her face, even closer. And I told him, hey, man, like, I already told you once, get the hell out of here or else, we're gonna escort you out. And he left. And I remember like the eye contact we made because he was drunk, probably on drugs and stuff. He looked like he was racked out, bro. Like his eyes were like, and he was like that. So I'm like, I've been in the streets long enough to know what kind of drugs you got to be on to be at that kind of level. So like I said, I had to assess everything and be like, okay, how am I gonna beat this, this alcohol raged, drug infused guy? And I remember we made eye contact and he looked at me. I'm like, dude, like, I'm about it. I'm about it. Like, if you are. And he just walked away. And I was like, that's crazy. Like that. I mean, I've had experiences growing up where, like, we look at each other and it's like we start swinging. And I felt like just the way I, like, with my confidence and my experience and, he looked at me. He was like, yeah, this guy's really about it. He's smaller than me, like 6, 8 inches, a foot, almost a foot shorter than me, but he looks like he could fuck me up. So I'm just gonna walk away. I'm drunk, like, so it really put him on a different. He left, So for me, that that was my first day there. So I've always kind of carried myself, and I still do security work, and I still carry myself on a very like, I'll speak to you softly. I'll let you know that you're causing a disturbance or you're not following the rules. But if you continue and stuff, I have the ability to do something that I don't want to do. But you put me to that level, I can get to that level. I don't think you can, but I can. So I like security. It's been good experiences. I've been going for the most part. I have really good experiences with people, and people have really good experiences with me. So yeah, that was a crazy story. And then we had a bunch where people were drunk and throwing up, but you don't want to hear about that. That stuff's gross.
I'm not. You're talking to a guy that watched Jackass like every showing when the first Jackass movie came out. Like I did school, so fuck it. Like
We would have to escort. Let me put it this way: we would have to escort more people out on for Sunday brunches than we did for like Friday, Saturday nights. People would like they would go there with the intention to get hammered.
yo, them
Yeah,
bottomless mimosas though, for real
yeah,
on Sunday, bro. That's
yeah. You end up throwing them all up, so you really only pay for like one or two mimosas. So economically, it doesn't end up working out because you end up giving back all that money you spent.
dude. I couldn't be a bar restaurant owner, man. Like, cause like you paid. Like I would have fucking just got Tampico for all these motherfuckers and the $1 champagne and shit like that. If you're gonna throw it up any damn way, like fuck, you want Tropicana?
Yeah,
Fuck off, man.
yeah, they want that freshly squeezed just so they can throw it up.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
wrong.
now I'm working at now I'm doing security at a marijuana dispensary.
That's gotta
So
have some fringe
now I'm not
benefits, right?
security totally.
It's
Yeah,
gotta
it
have
has
some.
great benefits. I like the
Yeah.
company I work for. Yeah, shout out to Skunk Masters. Yeah, hopefully they're gonna be sponsoring me for this upcoming fight. So, we're in the talks right now. So, shout out to them. They've been treating me good, and I like where I'm at. So, yeah, like you said, the perks are cool.
No, 100%, 100%. Don McGuire, I got.
Yeah, just it's a good testimony about overcoming obstacles.
Yeah, 10 points
You
there.
know,
And our good friend
yeah, and
Shaman Steve says, "Good
oh,
afternoon. Good afternoon."
Steve.
Yeah,
Yeah, overcoming obstacles.
you were saying?
Yeah, that's what it's about, man. Overcoming obstacles. So I'm glad that somebody can point that out and really, appreciate that because I've had a lot of obstacles, in these last 2 years. I've had stuff with injuries, stuff with personal life and personal relationships, and I've had passings in my family. Just multiple people dying in my family and
Wow.
my future wife's family. So it's been hard. It's been hard. In my growing up, I never really lost anybody. I never lost like a close family member, and I just been my like I said, my future wife's grandfather, one of her grandmothers, aunt, and and then I lost my cousin and her baby, like
Wow.
a tragic death, like super super tragic. And I don't want to go into that because
Yeah.
that yeah, that stuff's pretty heavy. She was pregnant with a baby, and she lost her life, and yeah, a lot of stuff that's been running through my mind is like what could have, should have, you know, and when you're growing up or when you're living your life and you're just trying to stay, like I said, stay in your lane, you see all these people every now and again, and you think they're always gonna be there, and then one day they're not, and then you live with all these regrets of like, oh, I should have hit them up, said like, hey, how's it going, or can I see you, or why aren't you here? But now I can't. I won't be able to have that. So that stuff's just something I gotta live with, something I gotta deal with, and it makes me grow as a person because then I contact like my cousins, like how are you doing, or cousins that I don't see that often, like hey man, let's make an attempt to hang out and see each other, or like making sure I check on my grandparents and see how they're doing. So it's really opened my eyes, and it's it's not a good thing to happen, but we got to make the best out of it. And like I said, giving my family the attention I feel like I they deserve and that I should have been giving them, and that at the end of the day, like family and friends and loved ones are all we got. Like we're just talking about money and stuff. Like that shit don't matter to me. Like I could die rich or I could die with nothing in the bank, and I'd be just as happy either way. I'm not gonna take that money with me beyond. So why am I gonna worry about it? And it puts a lot of things into perspective, and I'm grateful. And I haven't been so spiritual in my life neither. I think that's helped me endure what I've had to endure, because if I didn't have that kind of outlook that everything happens for a reason, and this stuff, it sucks, but I can't stay down and go on and continue. Like I have to keep pushing. I keep believing that the future's gonna be brighter than what's been happening. And I know a lot of people can feel that or can fuck with that, because this is a troubling time for all of us, not just me, not just my wife and her family, or who friends. It's everybody. People I don't know that are going through a rough patch.
No, 1,000%. And 100%. That's the whole point of life. But he sees, despite all of that, he sees a bright future for Mr. Reyes, because fire hardens the steel.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Um, yeah, if you've been in hell for a long time, you get used to the fire.
Yep. Real
Yeah,
talk.
I mean, let me make sure my laptop doesn't turn off on me right now.
No, go for it. Go for it. And Jamal Harris says
Yeah, let me check. I
805.
had it charging.
Mike is a boss.
Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that sentiment. I don't think I'm a boss yet.
Hey,
Even
don't.
even when I have accolades and my belt and stuff, I don't think that I'm gonna I don't think I'm gonna let that go to my head, or I hope I don't. I don't think that.
Well, I like to think you got
We're having
enough.
technical.
Yeah, you got enough people around you to kind of bring you back down to earth if your head gets too big.
Yeah, yeah. No, my wife, my future wife, keeps me humble. When I get
Yeah,
really confident and stuff, back to earth. I was watching, Kobe's induction to the Hall of Fame, and
right.
how Vanessa was talking about how she rained on his parade, and and yeah, that shit's so heartbreaking. But it really touched me, like how his head was always in the clouds, and she brought him back to earth, and the relationship that I have, with Alexandra.
Yeah.
Oh shit! No, my laptop's turning off.
No worries, man. It happens, and but that gentleman is a malicious Mike Reyes, a flyweight on the move in Combate Global. And if you guys don't know of Combate Global, well, guess what? Combate Global used to be Combate Americas, headed up by none other than UFC co-founder Campbell McLaren, and Mike is attached to the Combate Americas promotion, as was his teammate, his constant friend, one Jose Froggy Estrada, man, and all of them there at West Coast Jiu Jitsu. Nick Dolly, Kalnock Rivera is there, Travis Kalnock, Brian, Brian Espinosa. That's just a good crew there on the kind of, I don't know if it's Central Coast, but the coastline of California. Those folks are amazing. A very bright future. No, 100%. Hopefully, it'd be better than the I guess the connection, right? Connection of the computer that he was using. But as we wait for Michael to come back on, actually, we don't have to wait because he's back on like right now, not later, later. Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
sorry,
were
bro.
talking about
Technical
Alex. No,
difficulties.
you're fine.
Yeah, yeah, man. She really provides that yin to my yang, kind of, so to speak. And yeah, so I was really, it really touched my heart how she was saying that about Kobe. And I've been reading his books, his the kids books that he's reading. I tutor kids, and we've been getting into those books. And he wrote on that, on types of people in the book. There's dreamers and there's realists. There's people that accept reality, and they more think of realistic and attainable goals. And then there's dreamers who are kind of just their heads are in the clouds, and they're separate people in this world. And he wrote a note to her in the beginning of the book, and he says to Vanessa, "Thank you for being the realist to my dreamer." So like I read that, and then hearing that on T and stuff, it just really touched my heart. And I feel that really grateful that I have that. I have that kind of balancing effect to my life, because I don't know where I would be, without her here helping me helping me out, being there for me, supporting me, especially the times where I didn't believe in myself. She was there to encourage me to keep pushing forward, and like I said, as much credit as I give myself for enduring and being tough and being just like, I also need that support system too.
No, 1,000%. I've been lucky to be privy to see the relationship and the dynamic between you two, and it's amazing. And it's not just that she's there for you, but like she's almost like the de facto den mother for everybody at West Coast when they go out to fights, and then now the inclusion of Nick Dolly and Travis, it's just like a cool synergy that you guys have
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I mean, everybody brings their part. I like who I have in my corner. Everybody brings something different to the table, and I like that. And I like who I've surrounded myself with. And I feel like I have the right people to attain the goals that I want to attain. And you see it all the time, even in the UFC. Like, people get to a certain level and they feel like they got as far as they could get with the people that they got there with, and that they need something better, or something different. And they keep searching and searching, when really it's all up here. And we see that stuff all the time. But it's easier said than done to really give yourself all that responsibility, and to overcome all that kind of mental adversity that athletes go through, especially guys in the sport that we're in. We sacrifice our mind, bodies, and souls for change, compared to other athletes. And it's it kind of sucks. Like, someone asked me if I would want my children to do this, in the future. I said, no, not hell no. I wouldn't want them to do this. I would have them play baseball or something that there's a lot of money in.
Yeah.
Get paid $300 million for 10 years playing baseball. Something where you're not going to get hurt. You don't even have to run that fast. If you hit a home run, like, just jog your way to home. You know?
Babe Ruth.
Yeah,
Good Lord, Babe
it's a
Ruth.
trip. It's a
Fat
trip
as
on.
all
Yeah,
shit and just hit the ball out
yeah.
of the park and just trotted his silly ass all the way back to home.
And besides a few heavyweights, you don't see that in the UFC. Everybody, you see their hard work and commitment, and how well they tune their bodies. Like we're like the, like NASCAR for if humans were cars, we're like the NASCAR uh cars that they put out there, to drive.
Yeah.
We're right there driving, super fast while everybody's, trying to get their steps in, or, jog for 20 minutes. We're over here running for an hour. We're here hitting the bags for an hour. People don't understand that kind of mentality, because if you haven't been there, you don't understand. And I know what it's like to be a regular person. I wish I could stay home and eat eat myself till, like, till I was fat as heck, but I can't do that. I can't do that for my physical well being, and I can't do that as a professional athlete. And I feel like most fighters have that kind of mentality, and we dedicate so much to this sport, and this sport doesn't give us much back. And that's pretty much what I told this person that, asked me if I would want my why would I want my kids to do something that they put their all in and don't reap the rewards from?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Oh man, it's a tough road.
suddenly there's something going back. There's like,
No, you're fine.
But I love what I do. On that note, I love what I do.
For the love of the game, which Don McGuire. Wait, we got that one. No, we didn't. Let's see. Man, I'm gonna have to get the Rosetta Stone. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, es un tremendo guerrero, pero I'm a good fighter, but I'm humble. Thank you. I try to I was before I got it. I don't want that to change me. I don't want success to change me. I don't want money to change me. Like this tragedies that have been happening in my life, I don't want them to change me neither.
Right.
If anything, because I've been more optimistic despite what's happened. I have an optimistic attitude. People have told me too, like, you're very optimistic, or at my work, that they feel comfortable whenever they come around, like, me or my team, that so I feel like it's been showing that I've been positive. And like I said, despite things that have been happening in my life, we all have tragedies going on in our lives that we don't show a lot of people, or that we don't really talk about. But like, me talking to you makes me feel better about what I'm going through. I feel like, if we all, like, yeah, if we all did that, like, we'd be in a better place. I think there's more strength in admitting you need help than there is in saying I don't need help. And I have that in my life too. I have people that say mental illness doesn't exist, and that depression and stuff doesn't exist, but that stuff does exist. And I feel bad for people, and to, like, be ignorant and to shade yourself away from something that is true is even worse, because people do suffer. And
Yeah.
like I've told you before, like, I've been they've told me, like, you have depression, you have anxiety, and but I don't let those labels, or I don't let that terminology dictate my life. I'm not a depressed person. I'm not an anxious person. Do I feel anxiety and anxiousness? Yeah. Do I feel depression and depressed thoughts? Yeah. But is that who I am? No. You know. So I feel like the strength that I have gained in being open, and, like, if somebody says, like, this is let me give you the best example. When you go up to City Day and somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey man, how you doing?" What is the first thing you say? What's your instinct to say? How's everything going? Oh, good,
Yeah.
man. Like, why is that ingrained in us, to be fake? To say that we're good doesn't burden the other person, or so that we don't show weakness. Why is that a thing? You know? And like I said, I have had that in my life too. People that don't admit truths in their lives, or they run away from things that I know they can't run away from. I told somebody that you may run fast, but what was that from? You run fast, but problems run faster. I think it was from Norbit. you know, yeah, but problems run faster. I think he said black man runs fast, but problem run faster or some shit like that. Eddie Murphy said that in Norbit. But yeah, like you could run away from your problems, but your problems are always gonna catch up to you. And I've been facing my problems. I've been realizing like how I am, why I am the way I am, what caused it, like and it's taken accepting some stuff that I just didn't want to accept, or facing things I didn't ever think I would want to face, or think I wanted to go back to and recall and put out there that I remember and stuff. But it's made me a better person, so I have no regrets on doing that. And when I talk to people about it, it could be a total stranger, it could be a friend of mine. I'll talk to them about, they ask me like, yo, how you doing? I'll say, I've been better, but I'm out here trucking, and they'll ask me, or they won't ask me, but like I've been more upfront, and I think I've encouraged other people to be more upfront, because I've had those kind of conversations with people, and I feel like that's made me a better person. And if that's helped someone else become a better person, then it was worth me expressing this moment of weakness to you.
No, 1,000%, 1,000%. I mean, Shaman Steve is echoing the sentiments. He says, "This world is as magical as we make it. Believe with all your heart and work with all your will. Infinite blessings."
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Shaman Steve's a shaman.
Yeah, man. No, he trains with Voodoo Maximus, man. And they be running up hills and all that jazz, man. They on that next level tranquility.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I've like we talked about in our last podcast, like I've really gotten to a place of peace and tranquility, and like I said, like self discovery. Like I think I was so focused on growing and becoming something that I wasn't yet, that I didn't really celebrate who I am, and how far I've gotten. I told somebody this and that put into perspective like what I've gained. When I
Right.
was 28, I was depressed for like 3 my life or more. I think from when I was 28, over 28. So over 4 years, I was like, that depression came back. Like, and I was really
Wow.
feeling depressed. Like every day was hard. I didn't want to train. I didn't want to work. I didn't even want to be alive. Like I just didn't want to exist for years. Like, I was battling with that. Not every day, not every moment, but enough where like I felt like those years of my life, I didn't appreciate my
Right.
life. I was so and when I was 20, and I said I've been for towards my goals for 15 years,
Right.
running, and I'm just looking forward. I'm just going, and I'm eager to get to the finish line, and it just doesn't seem like it's getting any closer. I'm running, sprinting, running, just hoping that the image gets bigger and that I'm closer. And uh, this I had like an epiphany where like I stopped running and I looked back to see like how far I've come, and the start line looked super way further than the finish line. And I looked back at the finish line, and the finish line was within my arm's reach. Like I could literally cruise, I was already so close that like I didn't have to stress. And I was so exhausted from stressing about the run that I wasn't really in the run. I wasn't really focused on the journey, on the path. I was focused on on the finish line, and now I'm taking it step by step, and I looked back and I was way closer to the finish line than I was the start line. So now that's the way I take it. Now I'm like, when I go train, I'm like, oh, I'm so close, I'm so close, I'm so close. Every day I get closer. I get every day, if it, even a step, you know, I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer, and to my dreams. So I've been so optimistic lately, and I'm so happy the way, and it translates into the gym. I've gotten compliments from people I've never gotten compliments from, telling me that like they've seen me, training and sparring and working, and that they've been impressed at what they've seen after coming back from surgery, after surgery. And for me, and that tells me that all this has been worth it. All the times like I questioned myself, all the times I thought about retiring and thinking and like felt bad about myself, like, damn, this is the way you're gonna go out, like how pathetic, like you ought to be a world champ. If you retire today, nobody would remember you. You'd be like
Right.
that guy that everybody looks at around town, and they're like, oh man, he yeah, like he was something, but some at some point, you
Yeah.
know. And not that that should matter to me, but like I said, like I've told you, I want to influence other people, and the only way I'm going to do that is by making my stamp, And if I quit before I make that stamp, then it will all have been for nothing.
No, 100%. And that's kind of indicative of a society where, sometimes the road can look bleak, and you kind of give it in
Yeah.
before you hit the proverbial end zone, and it's just like it was right
Hmm.
there in your grasp, Which Jamal Harris says, I'd love to see Mike at Lights Out Extreme Fighting. I trained with Froggy and Shane and Turtle. I know what he's capable of, and love how humble he is. But to be honest, the UFC should be calling. Plus, Brian Espinosa is a great coach, 100%.
Oh, they will be calling. I might have to forward. I might have to forward. Man, Brian is, yeah, Coach B. Coach B's Coach B. Everybody knows him around town. Like Coach Haas, same thing.
Yeah.
Legend where we're from. Legend in boxing, and made a stamp in MMA. And then we have Travis coming from Extreme Couture, and he was a
Mm-hmm.
pro fighter, and he's a training partner also. We grab all the time. He rolls me up, so it's good, And then I've had Coach Willard in my corner, for years, who always emphasized on being an asshole when it came to taking people down. Like, don't just slam people, like, rub your elbow in their face and their eye socket, kind of
Right.
thing. And I'm really happy with the people that I have in my life, and these, like I said, with the things happening in this world, it puts like this. I'm very grateful for the people surrounded myself with, and I'm grateful for the opportunity around been surrounding myself with, like I said, corner, I have great friends, great family, my future wife's great, I have great pets, so I have great friends, that I can talk to and open up with, like yourself. So I'm a happy person, man, and from going to being depressed from in your mid-20s when you should be your happiest, to now catching up, and now I feel like the happiness I've gained in less than a year, I've uh I've made up for those like 4.5 years I spent moping for myself, and now I'm so excited for the future, and I'm not rushing towards the finish line. I'm going at my pace. I've already picked up a pace. I've already stayed at a pace. I've already put in all the miles, and now I'm cruising towards my dreams. I'm not rushing towards it. It'll happen when it happens. And Mr. Harris was right when he said the UFC should be calling. They should be calling at some point in the near future, man. I That's where I want to compete. You know, uh, I love Combate, and I love fighting for them. But like They don't- unless I bring the attraction there, and then they're like, Combate has the best flyweight division in the whole world because Michael Reyes is there, and then and then there's talent coming over to us, and they pay me enough. Then okay, Combate is the best in the world. But
Yeah.
right now, if I want to get more capital, if I want to fight the highest level guys, I'm gonna be there. I mean, right now, I'm not impressed with who holds the belt. I feel like there's harder fight tiers than there is in the title fight. Like, so why do I care about that title?
Right.
A
Thousand
title
percent.
that I know I can take tomorrow if I could drive 3 hours and take that shit. Drive down to Mexico and go ahead and take my belt. See what's up.
Oh, please. Can you do it like
You
right
know,
now, if not sooner? Because, yeah, unfortunately,
and like I said,
uh,
I'm focusing.
yeah, because, I mean, the UFC flyweight division, the men's flyweight division, my goodness. Well, I mean, it's not bad because we've got Federato, but, you know, I'm just saying. I would love to see Federato versus Reyes. That'd be great.
The God of War and Malicious. I know I kind of want that name. Like the God of what's more malicious than being the God of war? Inherently is malicious. There's no good intentions for war,
Mm-hmm.
unless you're reading history books, and then war was fought to spread religion and happiness and the gospel. But wars hardly ever has a good connotation.
No, 1,000%, 1,000%. But you, good sir, have good connotations because Gabriel Michael Guerrero bestows
Yeah,
upon you this humble, savage, always entertaining, and no
yeah,
give up in this warrior, or as they say, cero miedo. But we are where all kings unite. Your move is admired and more admired than you know, King. Reach out to us for who don't want to take away from you. Curb them vatos who want what we want. We rise, we fall, be legendary.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, man. I appreciate that, man. Those words really get to me. As when I hear people say that, like, "Oh, I appreciate your words and stuff." Sometimes it feels like not sincere, but sincerely, like I do appreciate whoever reaches out to me. I have people that reach out to me or like react to my stories or send me a message and support, like show their support. I appreciate that. I don't think you're a dick rider just because you message me or clapping hands or appreciate that what I do. Like I'm not that type of person, and I'm not the type of person to swerve you if you tell me that you've seen my fight and that you like how I fight. But
Mm-hmm.
it's funny because I feel like people see me that way because I'm not so outspoken and I'm not so outward. And then I get people that I've known my whole life that will act like they don't know me. When I see them in person, and so like the contrast in there makes me see things different. Like I could get a warmer welcome and a warmer embrace from a complete stranger than I would somebody that I've known my whole life. And I think that's like kind of pitiful.
No, I mean sometimes life can be like that, But
Yeah.
it's
And I think like
go for it.
no, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, you're getting a lot of love
Yeah,
here.
but it's nice. Yeah, great guess.
Yes. Yes, and Don McGuire actually wants you on the fighter's voice, so I'm gonna definitely connect you guys. I think you'd be great there. Uh, yeah, no, 100%. I mean, Don McGuire, when it comes to this kind of facet, he is the man. So give him credit where it's due. So that's the good brother there. And one of my favorite interviews, a true student of life, is Michael Reyes as Shaman Steve. That's tremendous. And patience is the hardest lesson, it seems like.
Yeah, it is for real. I mean, we live in a world where like you see 20-year-old millionaires, or not even like kids that are millionaires. It's a rat race, you know. You just want to get the cheddar.
Yeah, sometimes it bees like that, you know. And my sister, the future Mrs. Alexandra, just laughing, but also devil horns. That's tremendous, so tremendous. Shout out to
She needs
Alex.
to help me fix my feed with my laptop or something. Because my laptop went out, and I don't like how my
You know,
feed's working. And I'm technically, not the not the brightest.
no, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, but
Believe me.
here we
If
are,
not for
man. Yeah.
Streamyard, if not for Streamyard, man, I'd be shit out of luck. So, and Jamal here is saying, depression is real. I dealt with it and picked myself back up. Wish you luck. You know, representing the 805 MOMA here in Vegas because Jamal Harris is currently training at Extreme Couture, and he wants to come back to lights out and tough enough. But he says much love and respect, Mr. Reyes, because he believes in you.
Yeah, thank you, brother. I believe in you too, and good luck on your fight in Vegas, man. I hope you end up on top, and that both of you guys come out safe and not too damaged, bro. Because this sport is unforgiving, and as much as it's a sport of carnage and brutes and gladiators, it's also an art form, and we don't want to see other artists kind of get taken out of the sport before their time.
No, 100%. And he says 805 produces the best fighters, no cap. So, there you go.
Back. I'm back on the laptop.
There you go. You're good. You're good. But yeah, Jamal Harris says that 805 produces the best fighters, no cap.
No, for reals, man. Like boxers and I mean, where I was born and raised is called Boxnard. It's Oxnard, but it's called Boxnard. The reputation like that for having like we're game bred freaking people. Like Masvidal is like what is it? An anomaly. Over
Yeah.
here, all you see is tough people. There's Masvidals in every corner. Guys willing to scrap and stuff. I mean, you get your chunks that rather pull out a knife or a gun, but you do get a lot of people that are willing to scrap, and I grew up, so
Hmm.
I can testimony to, I could be a testament. There's people that have,
Yeah.
duked it out in the streets,
In the streets, much
so,
like that.
and I appreciate that more than, yeah, I appreciate that more than people that, are quick to pick up a gun or quick to pick up a knife and stuff and end somebody's life over something stupid. I much rather get an ass whooping than a bullet wound.
Yeah, no,
But yeah,
100%.
like I said, the people out here are fighters, and and I'm proud to be where I'm from. And as I was telling you, like I may not feel like I have all the support from hometown. Like I don't get the support. I feel like if somebody that was you know trying to go for it all. But I'm so proud of where I come from. I love the people in this area. Everybody's really cool, and for the most part, and yeah, we have a reputation for being scrappy people. Like that's pretty cool to me. You come from Boxnard, California, Ventura County, the whole 805 like is known for having tough people. So it's something that I hone into myself. Like it's not just me. It's like I was bred and I was created in an area where people were like that. So I'm happy about where I'm from.
No, 100%. And truth well said. I love it. And Don McGuire says, thank you, Woods. You're just as tremendous. No, you are. But Michael Reyes, it would be an honor to interview you. Nope. So I'm going to hook that up. Which, before we get, like, out of it, when is the next time we're going to see Malicious back in La Jaula?
June 25th, man. That's is that, like 38? 30, no, 39 days.
Yeah,
I've been counting the days, bro. And the
I can
last
tell.
before this, yeah, before this camp got postponed, yeah, I was 14 days out. 14 days out from weigh-ins, 15 days out from the fight. The number every day was counting down, was building me up, building up my confidence, building up the I don't want to say anxiety because anxiety has such a negative connotation, but the
Right.
anxiousness, the feel of getting back and competing, it was like I was already going into the zone when this fight got pushed back. And like we didn't get this fight going on May 7th, which is a bummer. I mean, I really wanted to compete on May 7th. I was completely ready to to compete on May 7th, regardless of who they would have put in front of me. But it didn't work out.
But everything happens for a reason, and so I
Yeah,
mean, in terms, so we know that obviously Combate Global is now on Univision, right? So in June,
yeah,
39 days out, we're going to be able to see the Malicious one on our TV screens.
yeah. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be back in the cage and to be back, representing my people, representing myself too, and my hard work, and more importantly, my hard work and my dedication. That is going to be more apparent now more than ever because, like I said, I've been honing into the hard work I've put in. I've looked back at the trail that I've ran to get to where I'm at, and like the finish line seems so close to where I'm at. So I'm super happy. Like this, like you said, everything happens for a reason. The fight got pushed back for a reason. We still have the same opponent, so that's good. I hope he gets there this time though, because he didn't want to fight me. He didn't want to fight me 2 weeks ago, but he fought last week, so that makes no sense to me. He was hurt to fight me, but he fought. Yeah, and that's okay. I don't want to fight you because I'm hurt, but then I'll fight this guy. I'll fight this pud, tomato can, and then get rack up some confidence, and then I'll fight you on June 25th. So I hope he makes it there. I really do hope. And I'm not one to talk crap, but if you're gonna do something shady, I'm gonna call you out on it,
Yeah.
and we're gonna fight each other. So ultimately, like we're gonna throw hands at each other. So what's what? There's very very little respect. There's more honor and mutual respect in fighting. But if you're not gonna give me the mutual respect and or being a man of your word and getting there when you want to get there, or claiming that you're hurt, and then within a week, you're fine to fight, and oh, okay, I'll fight you later. Like that's shady to me, and I want you to be in the cage. I really do want you to be in the cage so that I can make you suffer for the extra few weeks that you've had me train for you. Like that's pissed me off. So I hope he gets there. I hope that happens
Hey,
on June 25th because I'm ready to compete.
hey, miracles can happen, right? Like, all of a sudden, like you feel fine. You feel fine when you get the right opponent. You feel fine, but you might be all fucked up when Yeah, again, Malicious Mike Reyes is standing on the other side of the La Hala. I mean, it happens. It can happen. Miracles happen.
Yeah, yeah, for real. The miracle did happen. The miracle did happen that he gained confidence out of nowhere to fight. So it was a miracle, and I hope he keeps having those miracles for the next 38 because I need him there 39 days from now. Or I think 39 days. I think I remember writing yesterday. I was gonna be 39 days. But yeah, we're getting close to the fight. I know injuries are a thing, and I've been there too. But I've never, ever, ever, nor will I ever deny somebody a fight and then accept another one. You know, a week after I should have fought another person. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah,
You look like a coward.
it's a crazy life.
Yeah.
La vida loca, man. And
No, man.
now Don says, "Oh, okay, I know this one."
Listen, Keelan, damn.
Yeah, what is your
Yeah,
favorite food?
what's your favorite? Yeah, after a fight. Oh man, chicharrones con chile. Those tacos are bomb. There's a bunch here in Oxnard too. Like the food out here is bomb. I love tacos de chicharrones. But nah, dude, Mexican food's the best out here.
Yeah,
I wish I could say hey, Mexican food's like the best cuisine in the whole world.
that one on the truck. Me and Blake Troop were coming back from like Port Hueneme from a wrestling show, and there's like this.
Uh-huh.
I think even like BuzzFeed did a damn like a video on it, like an 8 minute video on the this fucking taco truck, in Oxnard. Shit is bomb, dude. The burritos are like fucking huge, and it's all killer no filler, man. It's like sometimes when you get like a big burrito and whatever, like it could be absolute basura in the middle. It's just like whatever. But no, this is like
Nothing not.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
legit.
So the food out here is bomb. Yeah, I love Mexican food after I fight. Like Mexicans cook the best. I mean, no offense to anybody else, but we kind of do. And I love pizza. Pizza is my favorite too. I'm a Ninja Turtle at heart, so I love pizza.
So what is
Yeah.
what is your go-to pizza, good sir?
Topper's Pizza. I don't know if you heard of it. I mean, it's there's several locations, but it doesn't expand that far. I don't even think it expands to like LA. I think it's like Santa Clarita is like the most southern location, but Topper's Pizza has to be the best. Shout out to Topper's. Hopefully they can deliver me like a free pizza sometime for plugging them in. But yeah, no, Topper's is bomb. I love Topper's. That's been like my last cheat meal several of the fights.
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah, toppers, get at your boy, and hashtag Boxnard. Uh, yeah, I think that's the place. El Taco de
Taco de
Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah, that might be it. That might be the place that I was thinking about.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're 38 days out, right? And as you ready yourself, you begin the march to La Jaula. There have been a lot of people that have both professionally and personally supported Malicious Mike Reyes. So take as long as you need, my brother. Let's get some shout outs out of the way.
Okay. Damn. I gotta start. Okay. First and foremost, I want to thank God. Thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to continue my dream. I'm so grateful for every day now, and I can't imagine like my relationship with you not being the same because I'm so grateful my life's in a good place, and despite all the things that have been happening, like I've still stayed true and faithful and hopeful. So I'm happy, and I want to thank my my parents for bringing me into this world. Without them I wouldn't be here. My grandparents, for raising me. They pretty much raised me. They watched me before I attended school, and when I attended school, they were always there for me. They always picked me up. They're still there for me. Like they're always checking me and checking my attitude. Like as much as I have Alex here to keep me humble, my grandparents do their fair share. Keep me honest for real. They do. And, I'm really grateful to have them in my life. My grandparents and my siblings. I'm proud of them. My brothers haven't always done all the right things, which who of us have, but I'm proud of them, and I like to thank them for. Recently, they told me, we had a hard childhood. We really did, and I'm not one to mope about it and really go too much into it, especially now. But they told me, it's always felt like you were the man of the house, and like if we needed to go to you and stuff. Like they never told me that. We grew up our whole lives together, and they never told me anything like that. And to tell me that stuff was not only humbling, but I was so grateful to have that kind of relationship with them, and they honored my opinion and my words and stuff so much. So shout out to them, all my aunts and uncles. That have been there for me. My aunts who I always talk to and I get along with and I joke around with. My uncles that have always been there, as male figures for me. and show everybody's played a role in my life, and I'm happy for that. All my cousins, um, like I said, now I'm trying to get closer to my family, and my cousins are like, we're the same generation. We're all our our parents, and we're their kids, so we're close, and we should be closer. And I'm happy, to have them. And my cousin Michaela, I want to say rest in peace to you and your baby. Um, shout them out. Um, yeah, I want to shout out Alexandra, for always being there for me, and being. I'd say thanks for being my Dwayne Johnson. I've told from a movie. It's a line from a movie, but yeah, I'm like, oh, you're my Dwayne Johnson. I'll tell her, because she's my rock, and corny as it sounds, she's always there for me, and I'm really grateful. And I hope that I've been even a fraction offered even a fraction to you of what you offered to me. So I'm really blessed and really happy to have you in my life. And for her family who she lost, and like my cousin who lost, I want to shout them out, and her grandfather who she was really close with, like his death really hit the family hard, He was like the patriarch in their family, he died, and I'm really close to their family, so their family, I'm part of the family, so that was like losing a grandparent too. So and she lost her grandmother and then her aunt. So I really feel for her, and she still stayed there strong for me. So like I'm really grateful for that. Really grateful for my coaches. Coach Haas are always there for me. Always will lend an ear to me when I have problems. I hope I don't stress them out too much with my problems. I don't think I do it too often, but he's always there for me, always supported me, and just such a great coach, such a big heart. Coach Brian, he's been there for me since I started training with Frog years ago. In 2016. Uh, he's a coach that you're not gonna always hear the best. He's not always gonna tell you the things you want to hardly ever going to tell you the things you want to hear, but he's going to tell you things that he feels you need to hear and that things that will make you better. And I can't even count on my fingers and toes how many times he's put a chip on my shoulder, but I've always risen to the occasion. And I feel like our relationship kind of thrives in that he puts a chip on my shoulder and I carry it. And I'm grateful for that. Like I said, like I don't look at that negatively. I look at it as, you provide something for me that I need. And Coach Travis has been there. He's helped me out since I started my recovery, 3 months post-op. So we're like 9 months in right now of training and rehabilitating and gaining all this athleticism and this agility that I've never had. In in 29 years of my life, I've never been able to perform the way I perform. And I'm really and a lot of that I give to Coach Travis for starting that stuff when I was doing PT. When I started physical therapy, I was doubling up and doing physical therapy with insurance, and I was doing physical therapy with Coach Travis. So that I have so much gratitude towards. Been there, like I said, been there for me and supported me, coming back, to the sport. And yeah, let me see. Let me keep going on down the line. Now I want to thank California Tires and Wheels because they've been a sponsor for me. Lay Right, who's always been ride or die for me. I've had messages from people that work at Lay Right that are always supporting me, reaching out to me, telling me to keep going. And like I was telling you earlier, like that stuff really resonates with me. I'm not the type of person that if you do that, I'm like, oh, this guy trying to join the hype train, and this guy trying to be a e rider. I really appreciate people reaching out to me and giving me their support. So and Lay Right has done that. Like I don't think I've ran out of Lay Right once in the last 5 6 years. Well, I don't know. As long as I've been with them, I haven't ran out of pomade. Look, I have it right now. I have it in right now. I don't have my mustache up, but I have my hair done all the time, and I really appreciate that stuff, that support that they give to me. It's not about the monetary support. It's the fact that they've been consistent and been supporting me. So like I want to give them the credit that they're due. Skunk Masters and Viper Security, where I'm at right now, my employer. I'm really happy to be where I'm at, and I'm happy that you guys out there like support me. Todd, Mark, Ivan, you guys have been great. And I look forward to the future. And competing. Let me see. And let's see what else. And then I'm trying to think. I'm sorry. I don't want to leave
Is that
someone out.
Alex on? Alex is like, yo, don't forget, and you're trying to mouth off her words and
Oh yeah,
trying to.
she's like, yeah, get your malicious sweaters because I malicious sweaters. That was the thing I wanted to mention.
There you go.
But yeah, uh, I want to thank my training partners and all my coaches. Like not just the ones that I have now. I've been really thinking about that recently about how my wrestling coaches made me the way I am, like the mentality, the drive, that yeah, the wrestler mentality. And I really appreciate all my coaches. From Coach Ralph to Coach Barragon to Coach Al, Coach Thomas, Coach Jackson. I've had, and even coaches that I didn't wrestle under, like Coach Dylan, who I see from time to time. I see all the coaches from around the way here, and they're always telling me keep doing it, keep pushing, and they're proud of what I've accomplished after wrestling. So like I said, and all my fans that message me and that reach out and that like my photos and don't just skim past me on their timeline, that will actually take a second to support me and show me that they're behind what I do. I really appreciate that stuff and I take that stuff to heart. So yeah, and thank you for giving me a platform for me to talk to, for me to talk on. I the more I've done this, the more I do this, the more this is gonna be a part of the lifestyle. I'm
Right?
gonna instead of having your camera or one camera, I'm gonna have 10, 15, 20 cameras in me. So the more I practice this stuff and the more comfortable I get talking to you, like the more comfortable I'm gonna get talking to somebody else. You know? So
That's it. That's what this is for. This is, and bro, thank
yeah.
you. Because if you notice, every iteration of my career, and those who've been following my career, Michael Reyes has been a part of it. Bosun Wang and I making promo videos, to shooting stuff on my cell phone, to the gym crashers, to this here. Almost every iteration of my career, you've been there for me. So thank you, because I don't know if I'd be
Yeah.
as far along if not for you.
Yeah, man. When we help each other rise up, man, that's what's important. And it's not who helps who more. It's that we're both doing our part and reaching out to each other to further each other's careers, man. And that's what it's about. It's a mutual respect. It's a mutual thing. I don't feel like I'm doing you a favor any more than you're doing me a favor. And it really does come down to me just having a chat with you.
Yeah?
I feel like I've just been FaceTiming for a couple hours. That's
Yeah?
exactly what it feels like. So the more I kind of get that demeanor, the more comfortable I'll be able to happen when things get a little more higher stakes. So I appreciate that stuff. And yeah, it's been a long ride. It's been a long journey since you first interviewed me. It's been a rough ride, but now like I said, we're getting into the exciting part.
Yep, let's get to the
June
promised
25th.
land.
Yeah. Yeah, and one more thing I wanted to mention. I wanted to I dedicate this fight to all the people that I've lost. Um, it's been tough and it's something that you don't ever see happening and you don't wish on anybody. But we gotta keep pushing forward. For those people. And yeah, this I felt like started losing somebody when Kobe died. Honestly, when Kobe died, that's when I felt like, whoa, like that's crazy because you never think Kobe's gonna die, and the way he died and with his daughter and stuff. and I've always idolized Kobe. I was watching the Lakers play, and when he came up with that Mamba mentality. I mean, you follow my Instagram, you see my story. I'm always putting Mamba mentality. I'm always putting Mamba mentality, malicious mentality, relentless. Like that's the mentality I carry on, and I'm grateful that I had somebody to idolize, especially somebody that's not in the same sport as me. If he would have been a fighter, he would have been me. Like that's what I want to achieve. I want to be like that in fighting. If fighting wasn't already, if people weren't already like that Mamba mentality in fighting, like I want to further that, and I really want to show like how great I can be, how focused I can be, just like Kobe, and yeah, when he died, it sucked, man. It felt like Superman died, and yeah, and his daughter too would have been like a better basketball. I mean, would have been what he was for the men's league for women's. He would have been like the first, or she would have been the first one to do it like for the women. So that's sad, and I hone into that all the time because I think like, damn, I'll be moping on myself. I'm sore. I'm tired, and I'll think like, what would she say? Shouldn't even have the opportunity to live. Like, and she was doing it. Like, what would she say to somebody that's just feeling down on themselves that has the opportunity to grind and get better. So, family and stuff that I've lost, I dedicate this fight to them. This 39 days from now, I'm going to reap the rewards of my hard work. And, I'm going to show to my friends and my family and everybody out there that, Malicious is back.
Man, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Now, as you march to La Howlam, for those who want to help develop the malicious mentality of Malicious Mike Reyes, where can they find you, good sir, on social media?
At Michael Reyes 125 on Instagram and Twitter, and then Michael Reyes on Facebook. So Michael Reyes 125, Michael Reyes, not too hard to find me. You can, like I said, give me a follow, say what's up, like my pictures or don't like them, but you guys would be part of the journey. Like I said, it's been rough, but now we're getting to a very exciting point, and I'm really excited to be, in where I'm at, in the position that I'm at, and Combate is offering me a platform to really put my skills out there, and I'm looking forward to fighting for them. I haven't fought for them in over 2 years. I'm looking forward to fighting for them. I'm looking forward to seeing Scott and all the people over there down there at Combate Americas, and letting them know what I've been up to and how hard I've been working, and for me to display that hard work, you know.
Man, I can't wait. I can't wait. But Mike, thank you so much for your time. But also, thank you guys for joining us here at According to Woods. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the According to Woods podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I mean, Mike, you're subscribed to the podcast, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm subscribed. You guys should subscribe too.
Damn right.
If you don't do it, I know some people I can send. I have your guys' addresses.
See? You don't want that to happen. You don't want that shit to happen. So go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. Follow Mike Reyes as he journeys to La Jaula. But if you don't believe me or Malicious Michael Reyes, and I don't know why you wouldn't, here's Pro Wrestler Zeta Zhang.